Shalom, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, and Barak the Yahushai. First of all, I give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops, great millstone that taught us his word. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect across the planet Earth, pushing this truth in sincerity, the spirit, and the truth. So basically, this article, Russia Today. So Russia believes that NATO is preparing a war on them. So that's just more, rumors, wars that we were told to look after. And on top of that, you've got the war over down there in Venezuela that may pop off. So yeah, these prophecies are coming to pass. That's what we were told to look for as watchmen. But yeah, this was dated a few days ago. December 17th, 2025 says Russia outlines response to NATO's war preparations. The Russian military is making preparations for a possible attack by NATO members. Actions by NATO countries, including increasing their military spending and strengthening their armies, as well as the deployment of medium-range missile systems and streamlining logistics for rapid movement of troops to Eastern Europe. Confirmed that the bloc is preparing for a confrontation with Russia. So yeah, the guys are gearing up for war with NATO. Plans of the alliance is set the early 2030s as the deadline for the readiness for such actions. But Lord willing, it'll come a little sooner than that. The improvement of Russia's nuclear forces is a key priority to ensure credible deterrence against possible aggression. So they want to improve their nuclear forces as well. So everybody's, gearing up for war. War's in the air. It's always in the air, really. It's always been there, but now we're getting closer to the end of this thing, man, Lord will. The word has been pushed across the planet Earth. We got these earthquakes in diverse places. You had an earthquake right off the coast of Japan recently. So Lord will, we're close. And these are the things that we look forward to, because we know this is the sign that, Yahushua is on his way, and, he's bringing his kingdom with him. Yeah, it's Revelation 11:14. The second most passed. Behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Yeah, the third world's war. The third woe, the destruction. It's talking about the third world war that's coming, man. And the outcome of that is going to be that nuclear destruction. America, just as the previous verse talked about, that great earthquake, the 10th part of the city fell. It's about America. That's going to be the outcome of this third world war, man. And also the return of Yahushai to deliver, his elect. So yeah, the second woe was passed on World War II. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So, they're talking about, early 2030s, but Lord will, the next year or so, man. And by the way things are going, man, with Trump being in office and all that, all these mass deportations, the time of Jacob's trouble is right around the corner. This is Matthew 24:3, because these are some of the signs that Yahushua told us to look for. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? So it was always the top question the prophets asked, when are you coming? When is the kingdom going to be established? When are the signs of the end? And we're living these signs right now. And Yahushua answers unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, I am anointed, and shall deceive many. And we're seeing that now, man. A lot of these different groups, these camps, are claiming that they have the truth. They're the anointed, these false prophets, and they are deceiving many. And you shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yeah, the end is not yet. But this is what the Lord told us to look for. This is a rumor. They feel that NATO is gearing up to attack them. And here it says the military bloc is not hiding the fact that it is gearing up for conflict by 2030. The defense minister has warned. So this is a rumor of war. A big war with Russia. They already have a mighty nuclear program, nuclear forces, but he wants improvement. He says the improvement of Russia's nuclear forces is a key priority to ensure credible deterrence against possible aggression. So they already have a wide variety of nuclear weapons, but they want more. The scriptures talk about 200 million, nuclear missiles are going to be shot off. So there's for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. Yeah, famines. Pestilences, a lot of these farmlands, a lot of these farms are shutting down, a lot of these farmers are getting put out of work. Pestilences, a lot of these diseases are out there. 2020 was an example. And you got other, the Black Plague, you got all these measles outbreaks, all these different outbreaks, West Nile virus, but it's going to get even worse. And earthquakes in diverse places. You have all kinds of earthquakes all over the place. But all these are the beginning of sorrows. Yeah, the beginning. So these are just the beginning. You still got that, time of Jacob's trouble. This is why we're here, to warn the people. But 2/3 of our people aren't going to accept the warning. They're not going to take heed until it's too late. That's Ezekiel 3:17, Son of man, I made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. So our job is just to warn the people, man. Mainly, the main job is to give them warning from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua that all these things are coming. That we are in the beginning of sorrows, man. All these people losing their jobs because of AI. They can't pay their rent. Everybody got to live that van life because they can't afford rent. Can't afford to pay bills. A lot of people are going to end up homeless. A lot of black women are going to end up on the street. They rejected their men and they took on the government to be their baby's fathers. Now Esau, Trump is taking away all their benefits, all the goodies that they were living good off of. And now they're in dire straits right now, man. And it's going to get even worse. More jobs are going to be lost. Scripture say, the grinding shall cease. All this AI. Once the AI has fully been implemented and they figure out this UBI situation, they said it's going to take about, 90% of the jobs are going to be gone. 90%. During the height of the Great Depression, I believe that was around 1930s, 1934 was the height, that Great Depression. That was about 25%. 25% of the people were out of work during the height of the Great Depression. And fast forward to today, they're saying 90% of the people are going to be out of work when this AI is fully implemented, man. And the technology's there. Everything's in place. They just got to figure out this UBI situation, Yeah, he said, I made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. But two, there's where people aren't going to hear the word, they're going to ignore it. But that's okay. Just going to say, let not the incredulity of them trouble you. You know, the non believers, the ones that don't believe, the scoffers. You know, just do what you need to do, wipe the blood off your hands, and keep pushing on, man. Because scripture say there's a time like no other. It's gonna be so bad. Michael is gonna have to come down. You know, your guardian angel is gonna have to step in and protect you in these last days, man. This is Jeremiah 37. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. No other day has been like this, like the day that's coming, man. It will never be like a day like this ever again. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Yeah, the elect, man. It's going to be saved out of it. The ones that push on, the ones that endure unto the end, as Yahushua said. But yeah, you know, these are the beginning of sorrows, but we look forward to these things. You know, the return of Yahushua, because the return is going to be, you know, the outcome of this war. The glorious return, man. Jumping down to Matthew 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. Yeah, the stars shall fall from heaven. That's not nuclear destruction, man. And nuclear missiles. Yeah, this guy said he wants to improve Russia's nuclear forces. So yeah, stars of heaven shall fall. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Yeah, that great chariot, man. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And the Lord's going to have his big fathership, and you have all the other angels, thousands of angels, the host of heaven, are going to make their return. And all eyes shall see him. The whole sky is going to be filled with those chariots, which is the redemption, the salvation of the elect. That's how the elect is going to be delivered. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of the trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds from all over the planet, man, because Jake was scattered. So you got elect members that are all over the planet Earth, every nation, pretty much. But the main deliverance is going to be here in America. From one end of heaven to the other. That's how the Lord's going to gather. That's salvation right there. That's what it means to be saved. And it's going to come towards the end. As the stars are falling, the missiles are falling. So there ain't going to be no rapture. You know, to where the saints are going to have to deal with the tribulation and the time of trouble. No, everybody's going to have to go through all this, man. But the elect is going to be delivered from that nuclear destruction. You know, so that's why we, you know, look forward to these things, man. Because that's the sign of the glorious return, you know. The Lord said, just jumping back up to Matthew 24:13, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come. So that's how we know we're close, man. This word has been pushed, you know, across the four corners of the earth, man, all over the planet through the internet. So right now you just have to endure to the end, so that you can be gathered, as we just read, you know, gathered, you know, before that destruction hits, before those stars fall. You know, the righteous are going to scarcely be saved, man. So this is no joke, man. Yeah, I just wanted to bring out this article. So Russia's on to the fact that NATO is preparing a war against them. So they're gearing up more. They want to improve their nuclear forces. They want to improve their armies. You know, beating the plowshares and the spears. All these different weapons that everybody's gearing up for. For this World War III, man. But you got that Tom and Jacob Trouble, and ultimately you got that Hour of Temptation. They're going to push that chip. All the technologies in place for all that. But he that endure unto the end, same shall be saved. With that, Shalom.